Hey, Desiree here with Soulpath Astrology and this week's Oracle card readings. Welcome to video 2. This was your selection. This is what we got. Before I jump in, though, I do want to, as always, invite you, if you haven't yet, please subscribe to the channel, like the video if you find value in it, comment below. I love connecting this way. And before we do the card, we're going to talk about the astrology because there is some juicy, juicy shit going on up there, you guys. This week, I wanted to focus on the Mercury retrograde and Venus retrograde, which is probably bringing back some X's. I talked about this in video 1, so you may want to go listen to that one and get some more juice on that. And Venus retrograde, there is a real invitation here to tap into what matters to you. This is a finishing cycle. There is a changing of the guard going on this year, like grand mal across the whole sky. There's a crazy shift. We're having this big reset. And right now, with both Mercury and Venus, there's this invitation for communication. How do I speak about love? What matters to me? How forthright am I? Venus, these are our feelings. Can I speak to my feelings? Can I bring them forth in transparency? Can I bravely bring my real, unpassive aggressively couched, hidden, sideways? Can I just be direct and vulnerable with my feeling expression? And this card, this is your card this week. The World. When this shows up, this is the last card in the major arcana. This is a giant completion. This is indicative of a life cycle, a huge chapter that's coming to a close. So if this is your card, I really invite you to reflect on, in particular, the last 17, 18 years, just because astrologically we're kind of repeating that in some ways here with the nodal axis and stuff. So like, where have you come? How far have you come? What relationships are coming to a close? What dynamics do you have in relationship, in communicating in your heart, in working for your heart, right, Venus? What am I doing? How am I serving her? How do I speak for her, Mercury? How do I speak for my heart, from my heart? Right. So with the World, like all three of these cards absolutely speak to like a holistic story. So, definitely pick the one that most resonated with you, but I would highly recommend that you do listen to both because they work in concert with each other very well. Card 1 was about wishes granted. Card 2 is the World Cup. Card 3, you'll see. It's very exciting how it ties into everything here with the second one. But very much it's like, what is your relationship to your heart? What is your relationship to service from that place, from your heart? And what's your relationship with spirituality? So as we're moving into this nodal axis, the Pisces Virgo axis, which we're going to have a solar eclipse here at the end of the month, right near, there's going to be a lot of energy around grounded spirituality. It's if I'm not mistaken, the very last lumination near because it's an Aries full, an Aries eclipse, lunar eclipse, or a solar eclipse, I should say. It would be the Aries solar eclipse. So this is the final axis of that Aries Libra connection. So this is the me we axis. This is a final squeeze, like of ending your old way of doing relationship. Like it's just done. The old way that you relate to yourself, the old way that you relate to your head and your heart, the old way that you relate with others, the old way of seeing yourself as a human on this world, on this planet. Like, we've been doing this separate thing, like believing ourselves separate, believing God is outside of creation somehow, that there's like out there, God is this sort of something. Maybe he's a guy on a chair with a beard and a naughty and nice list. And then there's like the humans, right? What we're being invited into is we recognize that God is imbued in every cell of your body, in every blade of grass, in every star. Bring God back home. The old paradigm of believing that the divine, that magic, that holiness, that sacredness is somehow outside of physical manifestation. It's time to release that. I know you can feel this in your heart too, that there's some sort of a truthful resonance in this idea that it's all sacred. And if we believe things to all be sacred, yourself included, you treat it differently, right? Like there's a quality that gets imbued into our choices and our actions and our words and our energy when we see all of it as sacred, as holy, as awe-inspiring, as wondrous, even like lowly little ants and stuff. Like, can you show up and marvel? So the World card, We're ending this period of believing in separation. We're ending this concept of war, that there's an other that I have to fight, and we're welcoming in right relationship with our own anima and animus, our own heart as an inspired, like, oh, this energetic inspiration that comes from this recognition of how everything is sacred, how source is sacred. That's what informs the head that takes action, which leads us into card number 3. So I really want to invite you to jump into that one. I'm excited if you would like to deep dive, if you want to have a container where I can help you envision this stuff for yourself, where you can see where maybe you've been holding yourself back, or where, as we're in this little retrograde, like where is there maybe some sticky points that you're just kind of little crunchies that you're ready to let go, but you're not quite sure how to get there. I would love to help. You can find the container for that. You can find, I guess, the link to my calendar in the description and in the comments. And in the meantime, we'll see you next Tuesday, and enjoy your week. Bye for now.